everyone. So apparently, for whatever reason, YouTube is wanting to have you only post your videos in portrait. That's why this is late so far, but I'm gonna try to let some people come in before I start doing talking to you all. So I'll just be hanging out here answering questions. I'll be on until 8, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I'll just be here reading and just kind of chilling out. So I'll do the announcement probably, I don't know, maybe in 3 minutes or so. But yeah, I don't know. I saw other people dealing with the same technical issue where it's only putting it in portrait mode as opposed to landscape. So super annoying. I'm not thrilled with it, but it's either, there's no stream at all, or I'm sitting here trying to figure out what's going on with the settings. And I'd rather talk to you all now than, delay it any longer. So. So I'm sure too the fact that the other one had a different click link to it as well. So that one started, and I tried to fix I tried to fix the picture in the video, and it backed out of it entirely. So I had to repost a brand new title with a brand new thumbnail, all that good stuff. So I see someone is on. Let me know who you are, where you're there, and what questions you have for me. So, of course, welcome. And I do this every Thursday, or I try to. Last Thursday I missed because my oldest kid was turning 10, so he had a birthday party. And yeah, we've just had a lot of stuff going on. So, and at the same time, we had our wedding anniversary was 2 days prior to my kid's birthday, and then I just turned 33 yesterday. So a lot of big events going on, but we didn't really do anything for any of them. We did have cake and stuff at the in-laws' house for his birthday, but for me and my wife, we didn't do anything fancy or anything like that. So. But, yeah, let me know you're there so I can see who's on. Oh, happy belated birthday! Thank you. Do you just want me to call you Dot A? So thank you, Dot A, for the birthday wish. Do you ever watch my channel much at all, or are you watching the series now? Oh, Nick. Okay. Nick, do you watch any of the stuff I'm doing right now? Any of the readings? Is there anything that you'd like to see me read on the channel, or any other questions or anything you have for me? These streams have been going only for about a month or so, so it's still pretty fresh to me. So I will retread on some stuff if I get asked it. So, but as the viewership grows, then there'll be more of you will be more familiar with my personal situation and all that other good stuff. But we haven't had a huge explosion, but I've been getting enough views on the live videos that it's been encouraging to me. Just even just having you show up, Nick, is cool to me. Just being able to have something going for someone is cool to me. So yeah, I'm not sure if anyone else. Oh, good. You like Captain America? Yeah, he's my favorite superhero. So I have a. Well, I'm working on. I had all my stuff stolen before I moved here to Seattle. So, but I'm working on reacquiring all my Captain America stuff. But I have everything from 2012 to now, and then I'm slowly getting some of my old stuff. Yeah, everyone really seems to enjoy the comic halls. That's the most popular one, and which I totally understand. And that's the thing that's so hard when I'm doing readings is trying to gauge interest. And then two, I don't want to put out stuff that has literally come out in the shops that day because I want to encourage people to go buy the books and give the company some money. Because the industry is not what it used to be. we're trying to change a little bit as well, making comics that aren't typically seen anymore. So, and yeah, so we're just I'm a big comic fan, and I've just always been supportive of it. And I don't want to see it go away. I'd hate to see Marvel to stop printing books and just focus on movies. That'd be super bum super bum me out. Oh, they're getting an yeah, good. I'm glad you enjoy them. So hopefully Marvel will keep putting out books, but they just need to work on the quality. I have recently started reading some Marvel. I started picking up Amazing Spider-Man and Thor, Hulk, Avengers, and I will be getting Fantastic Four when it comes. And it's all been, just it's been okay. So nothing has really upset me or bored me really. They've been decent stories, so but we're not in a period now where like how it literally was just a few months ago where you'd go into a shop and if the characters wouldn't match what was going on visually at all with the cinematic universe or anything like that, and just really confusing not having Thor be a woman as opposed to being a man, having some random kid be Hulk that wasn't Bruce Banner, all that stuff. So I'm glad that they're slowly reestablishing the characters that we all know and love. I don't think it's been good for the comics. I think it has been good for the reach as far as marketing. They're licensing out so much stuff. Like you'll see a ton of new toys, you see a ton of merchandise, shirts, things like that. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has just really been its own juggernaut, really. So, and I think that's the main reason Disney latched on was they saw what was going on with the cinematic universe and they wanted to be a part of that. So with the success of the movies plus kids or just audience in general going out and buying a t-shirt because oh yeah I know the Hulk, I just watched that movie, so buying a shirt. And like right out of the gate a shirt is already priced usually 5 times more expensive than a comic. A comic's $4, $5, a t-shirt's 15, $25. So when they look at it, it's I think for them at the end of the day, it's really a numbers game. So I think that the fact that Disney is owns it, I think that they are in jeopardy of not publishing comics, which is unfortunate because I don't want that to happen. But it definitely seems like that's the direction. There's been so much pushback with creators saying, "Well, if you don't like the books we're putting out, don't buy them." You can only do that so much before all of your readership dries up. It's getting some new people, but there's so many of us who have been reading, for the past 60 years or whatever, who have felt disenfranchised by what's going on with the company, which has led to the state it's in now. So, like I said, they're slowly trying to reel it back now, where they're at least resetting the status quo with the characters being the characters, but still from like a written and quality standpoint, there's definitely a huge gap between. We're not getting as much iconic comics as we were in the past. We really had uh, the 90s, early 90s was really the golden age before everyone splintered off with like Jim Lee doing X-Men and Todd McFarlane on Spider-Man and all that stuff. And then, when those guys walked away, there's still, it ran good for a little bit, but then it was in danger of bankruptcy. And then when they did the Marvel Knights stuff, bringing on Joe Quesada on board and putting comics in trades, that kind of helped, but then that removed the immediacy for buying comic back issues because you're just like, well, just wait for the trade in 6 months or whatever to get the full story. Plus, there's no ads, so and that worked for a while where you were getting good quality stories that were I don't know if I would say classic, but they were definitely thought evoking and really original. A lot of visually striking stuff, a lot of things that you hadn't seen really in the Marvel universe. I know whenever Steve Epting and Ed Brubaker worked on Captain America, having that spy crime espionage look to the book wasn't something that you would ever see in a Cap book in the past. So to have those periods where some creative team would come in and do something incredible like that, um, that's what's missing right now. We haven't really had creative teams come along and just really find their stride with the book. We're having everything's being pushed out, 2 or 3 times a month, so you're not even keeping the same writer and artist together on an arc for 6 books anymore. So you're not getting that consistency and that quality, unfortunately. I did notice we are 10 minutes in. Looks like 2 of you hopped off. It's okay. But we're 10 minutes in now, so I will talk about my big announcement. I don't know if you know this, but I worked on a comic of my own earlier this year, and I'm finally taking it to print. And actually, starting tomorrow, I will have my first campaign for my comic, The Bull, on Indiegogo, and that will be for a 30-day period. It will be a 20-page, floppy comic, $5 plus shipping on it. And there'll be different tiers. There'll be that one. You'll be able to buy original art. You'll be able to buy. I'll have like an army brown shirt with the yellow bull logo on it. I'll also have a package too where I am doing original head sketches in there as well. Thank you so much, Nick. Yeah. So, and I'll be having packages where I'm drawing the bull for you all too. So there's different tiers on there. So that'll go live tomorrow, and I'll probably, well, I mean, whenever I do post videos, I'll have like maybe a 30-second reminder to, hey, go check out Indiegogo. So that will be starting tomorrow for 30 days. So, and then after that, we'll close it up and see basically what happens. The goal is just the lowest of the low. It's just 500. I believe we can meet that. I hope we can, but I think we can get to 500 easily. But I can't do it without you all's help. So obviously that's why I'm telling you all about it. But yeah, the story. It's a character that I've had around forever, and I guess I can show off a little of that. Oh, thanks. So I guess I can. Let's see. I'll just go like that in here. So I'll pull out here. So this is my original stuff here I did when I was a kid. So the bowl originally I created when I was 4 years old. I don't have the first image anymore. This is what I did when I was 7. And in class, I would always just draw my character just on notebook paper. So literally, I just sit here and draw this in class. So, and in the original story, he gets experimented on. He becomes a half bull, half person. And then his friend who got him the job, he gets turned into like a robot. And yeah, and then he has this suit here. And then it just kind of keeps going from there. So at some point, the book will take on this level of insaneness. But to start, the first part, the bull #1 that I'm publishing for this year here, this will just be like the setup piece for him getting the suit. But there will be more action to come. The first book is really sets up the characters, or more about the characters. And then this is actually my oldest brother Mike's creation here, Frogman. But yeah, once again, I'm sorry that this is in portrait mode, but nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. So, but yeah, the bull, he can switch in and out between being a minotaur and being a human. So, and he will have that power eventually in the comic. Spoilers. But the first arc, I just want to focus on him, just to encourage people to want to do good on their own, because that's his initial drive, is just to be a hero, just to help people. So I'll show the first five or so here. And also, too, I did this, the group's called 100 Days of Comics. Oh, thank you, Nick. Yeah, I'm really trying. Like I said, I just turned 33. And I mean, as you see here, like, it's not polished or anything. This is literally like, I did this on comic boards with, I use Prismacolors for the color pencils. And it's really not, the two layers of plastic here aren't really showcasing the colors on it. But if I continue to wait to work on my artistic style, then nothing will ever come out. So I've decided to put that fear aside, and just to put out books, and to encourage other people to put out books too. I had this character on S4. There's no reason why I should have waited 20 years, or however long. The character is literally 29 years old. So there's no reason I should have waited this long to put out this book. So this is the start of it. And obviously it'll have the dialogue and everything put in there, but just showing you the first little bit there. But that's the whole thing. I want to encourage everyone who sees it. It doesn't matter if you're an adult who's reading it, or you're a kid who's reading it. It's put out in such a way to encourage you to put out your own stuff as well. If you have characters that you thought up when you were little, take pride in those characters. Develop those characters into something new. So with this character, it was at first just a standard hero dynamic thing, but then I changed it where it's a story between a father, son, and a mom type of thing. There's a different dynamic, and I go into it a little bit. I have like an open letter in the front of the book, but with me, a lot has happened since when I was 14. My dad passed away the day before Thanksgiving, and then my mom died a month after my first kid was born. So for me, the importance of family is huge. So for me to reflect that, based on experience, the book is going to be informed a lot by, the memories I've had with my family, and, the things I miss, and what I could have done with them, and what I am doing currently with my own family as well. So the book will reflect that. There'll be a very strong family dynamic in the book, and it's going to be written in a way that I really liked how original books, like, they had the comics code. Granted, that limited a bit having the comics code in a book, but it made it where you could literally pass it off to anyone and everyone. So this book will be written, with the comics code in mind, and all of my books will be comics code inspired. So it's officially gone by the wayside, but in my books, I'm gonna pretend like it never left. In all my stuff, there'll be no swearing, no mentions of sex, no graphic violence. There will be, your standard punching, kicking, but you're not going to see like someone get an arm cut off and blood squirting everywhere. That's not my thing. So yeah, thank you, Nick. And that's the whole thing. Like, I want to encourage kids who see it too to say, hey, I can work on my own characters too. Like, my stuff's not polished, but I'm okay with that, and it will get better. But I mean, if you look at any early book, and everyone, Jay just started off with an idea and it went. They didn't get hung up on perfection. So that's my whole thing. I'm done worrying about, is it going to be perfect or not, and I'm just going to create. And if it looks great, that's great, but I know it's going to be a process. I'm going to continue to learn more about drawing and all that good stuff, but I'm not going to let that keep me from putting out books. So, like I said, the Bull number one, Indiegogo will be live starting tomorrow, probably at like 8 a.m. or something. I'll probably put it live right before I go to work. I'll have the little blurb will be posted on YouTube, I think, first. It's like a 47-second trailer, and then it'll be posted on the Indiegogo as well. And too, like, I wanted to have like the full suit reveal be a big deal on this book. So unfortunately, like, the promo art and stuff for it, I do not have him in the full suit for it. All you see in the most you see is the back of his head on the images. So that part's kind of a bummer because I do love the visual look of this character, and I think anyone who picks up the book is gonna love it too. But it's something I have to keep secret because it makes it that much more impactful when you read it. You just kind of you get hit with it. It's very much modeled in nostalgia. So and there'll be obvious nods in the book to to what inspired it. So I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'll be working on number two while number one is being having the funds raised for it. But like I said, 500 is the minimum you can raise on Indiegogo. I think it'll make more. I hope it'll make at least 500. I know it will, but it's always just that initial air of uncertainty. Yes, yes, I sure did, Keem. I announced that starting tomorrow, 8 a.m. on Indiegogo, the Bull number one will be live for pre-order. And we're going to have different tiers, different things to do. So the Bull number one, it's going to be a $5 book, and then there's shipping on it. And it comes bagged and boarded too. So you're gonna get the full thing. You won't need to go run out and buy a bag and a board for it. It'll be ready to go. And then we're gonna have a couple other tiers too. One of them is gonna be the book, and then the book with a shirt. The shirt's going to be an army brown shirt, and it's going to have a yellow bull logo on it. And that one is going to be 30 for that plus shipping. The next one after that is going to be 60. You get the book, the shirt, and then you get a black and white drawing of the bull's head on a comic backing board. And then after that, I believe it's 260 gets you a full color original page from the book. And then the final one is an absurd amount of money. It's the number one fan tier. It is the full page, full suit reveal of the bull. It is the most important page that I will ever draw because it's literally his first official print appearance. So it's an insanely like $50,000 thing because that's more or less what I need to help me change my situation in my life right now. I am still paying student loans and all that good stuff, and if I have that taken care of, then I won't have every single month all of this money being pulled out over and over again for it. So whoever gets that number one fan pack, you're literally relieving me of my my student loan that is hanging over my head. So but like I said, plenty of other yeah, there's plenty of other opportunities too, and you can still get that head sketch for for that extra 30 on there, or you can get a page from the book, which is 200, and then your other items on there, which is makes it 260 plus shipping. So a lot of great tiers, and I will continue to work on the book. But like I said, I'm keeping the full suit reveal secret, so you're not going to see that on the videos or anything. But as soon as that book drops, you guys are going to see more videos where I am physically drawing the pages in front of you all. I will probably do drawings of maybe like the main characters, like the son, the dad, and the mom, or maybe even some of the other people. There's I think there's a total of is there 6 characters in the first issues? I think there's 6 characters in the first one. So there's Will, which is the boy. There's Robert, which is the dad. I don't think I named the mom, but I'm going to name her after my mom, which is Anne. There's Will's friend Mark, and then the boss, which I didn't name either. So, and then there's the teacher too, which I don't think I named her either. But I know the family is, they're named, and then his friend is named. So the first one sets up acquiring the suit. Stuff will continue to move, obviously, as the book goes on, but I wanted the first book to showcase the character of the dad and the son and kind of just mirror what they go through. So as you read it, you'll see, hopefully you'll notice the slight composition that I do have where the father and son's days kind of overlap each other with what they're experiencing. It's kind of a mirrored effect a little bit. So It's not Shakespeare, but I did keep a little bit of structure in mind when I did it, and I hope you all enjoy it. So, but also too, my wife was able to, for our anniversary, she was able to get me a refurbished Pro Surface. So with this, I'll be learning how to make pages and all that good stuff on the tablet as well. So it'll be more polished, I guess. But I don't know if I'll completely 100% go that direction. I still enjoy, producing the physical medium in my hand, having the board and the colors and all that stuff. But I'll, if it'll allow it, I'll probably end up scanning everything in as I had with the first issue and continuing to add the dialogue and stuff like that and clean it up a bit on the computer. So, but and then I got Clip Studio for it as well, which is a program used to be. Yeah, it really was. So got Clip Studio on there too, which used to be Manga Studio. So it's a program specifically designed to help you publish comics or manga, whichever you prefer. So I got that, and yeah, I'm just gonna continue to learn and grow with it, and be driven and inspired, and in turn, I hope you guys, you get inspired too. And also on the back of the comic, well, not the back, it's on the inside back cover. There will be an ad for the company that I'm printing the book through, and you can go to that company and get your own books printed, and they're pretty sensible. So, and that's the whole thing with this particular company. It made it so much more feasible than any other company that I had seen, and they've been printing books for maybe 20 or so years. So they their stuff looks just like what you would get in a comic shop, and they do have different, they have, you can print hardbacks and trades, or your standard floppies and stuff like that. So I just wanted to just make traditional floppies for now. At some point, I might do a prestige format big thing, but two, also with this whole movement with everyone doing their Indiegogo projects, we haven't seen too many people utilizing just the 20-page thing, and the fact that shipping on that makes it a little difficult. But it's I mean, it literally goes, every bit of the shipping on it goes to shipping, like, just, and then too, it's going to be in a bag and a board. So the shipping is, unfortunately, as much as the book, it's $5 for the shipping on the book. So it's like you're paying 10 for getting that first issue, but the other tiers, if you get everything else with it, it's a little easier to pull that trigger, because it's not just your 20-page book. But this is really helping me fund to continue to grow the book, to continue to grow the character, and I just wanted to see what would happen if I did it through this avenue. So I might as well try. Everyone's really doing a lot of great things on Indiegogo. I don't expect to match the numbers that a lot of the guys are getting on there right now, but I'd figure I would just put it out there and see if people like it. So, but if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know. See, there's 4 of you on right now. But yeah, and I'm gonna be trying to do more readings, but I'm really trying to figure out what you guys want to see. I don't want to invest in something and have you guys not watch it. So like I said, I am starting to read the newer Marvel stuff. So I'm really tempted, since you've got a lot of #1 type stuff. I've got Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, um, Thor, Hulk, Avengers, and then I'm going to be having Fantastic Four when it comes out. Oh, I've got Iron Man too. So I've got all those that I've just started to pick up. My personal collection, I'm looking right now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I've got, looks like 9 short boxes in my room, and yeah, do it, Keem. I'm telling you, it's especially the group's called Comics Wellspring, I believe, or you can look up Greco Printing. Super affordable. That's who I'm going with. So, and then I have, yeah, I know I can't. It's not letting me. It's not letting me do it the other way. So I tried, and that's why the stream was delayed for for like 7 minutes or whatever, or five. So as either I try to continue to mess with the technical side of it, or just go live and talk to you. So I figured I'd just talk to you guys and do it anyway. So yeah, Doomsday Clock's pretty good, and I could definitely read that. It's only 6 issues in, and it comes out every 2 months or so. So, but the thing too, like I'm even hesitant with stuff like that because I don't know how many of you guys are how if you guys are avid buyers and readers and collectors yourselves, or if if I'm when I read something, if it's your first interaction with it as well. So, but yeah, I'd like to do Doomsday Clock. I think that's a good one. I have a lot of classic stuff I'd love to do too, like Alex Ross's Kingdom Come or Marvel's. I have the traditional Watchmen book. Um, I'm slowly just picking up a lot of things I really appreciate. I got Batman Year One. I've got The Killing Joke. I've got Batman Animated Mad Love. So I've got all these little things that I'm slowly getting. I have like the whole Nightfall Batman Breaking Back thing, but that story is way too long. I think that it was hard enough for Dark Knight's Metal. I think that was, what did we do? Was it like 30 issues maybe? And yeah, that one definitely had some rough spots. It always starts out really strong, and then everyone just kind of dips off. Which, like I said, I wanna do stuff that interests you guys, but I never really see a consistent line. Like it starts off strong, and then you just have your slow taper. But I mean, I guess it's even that way with sales of comics too. But I don't know. Like I said, I want to make more things for you guys to hear and relax to, but hard for me to gauge it. So I might do a 50-50 split. How do you find the time to host your? Well, the key is you have to make time. Nice, Evan. Yeah, trades are great. So and also too, Nick, the thing I used, they're called. And this was a lot of it too. My life kept eclipsing my dream of drawing, which I don't want anyone to ever use that excuse. So the 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 Facebook accountability group used, and I don't know if it's closed now or whatever. I think you can like submit and see if they'll take you or not. It's called 100 days or something like that. But the push of the project is 100 days of comics. You work on your comic for 30 minutes a day for 100 days straight. And some people finish their book in that, and some people don't. And me personally, um, I had to stretch it out to have it fill those 100 days. But like I said, the board I was using was just the regular comic size. The boards that they usually expected to use for a comic, or the comic boards, are huge. Like I think I actually have one here with me to show you. So traditional comic board is actually like this size. And I more or less used like half size. Like I used a comic backing board. So it's like my workload was cut in half already. And granted, the edge, you still have to be careful with your edges on it. Um, but I think if I continued to do the project on these type of backing boards, I could probably have another one out in 50 days if I used that same model or not. So let me see. I thought I saw another. Yeah, I know. It's definitely a niche thing, the ASMR, but that's the whole thing. That's why I did it. There's not a lot of comic related ASMR channels out there, and that is my whole thing. Like I loved what Chicho was doing, and ASMR Nerds was doing. I think there's a couple others too. I'm blanking on them right now, but well, my exposure initially was a guy named Ephemeral Riff. I don't know if you guys know who he is or not, or you're just here for the comic site or not. But I stumbled upon ASMR through his video, which was like comic recommendations, where it's like you're sitting with him and he's recommending his favorite comics to you, and he's letting you borrow all of his books. So I really liked that video. I subscribed to his channel, and then I just continued to watch his videos because I liked his personality. So, and that's what got me into it. But I guess the official start, Bob Ross is the grandfather of ASMR. So, and I used to love and to watch him when I was little, and I'd get relaxed and have no clue why. And so that's where it officially started. But wherever I made the conscious decision to start was when I subbed Ephemeral's channel. So, but yeah, so I always put up stuff, and I try to have stuff for you guys to watch and fall asleep. Or I don't know, do you guys even fall asleep to your stuff, or are you what are your thoughts on covering the comic timelines that sync with the current? Hmm. Thoughts on covering? Nick, are you saying where the comics come out and they kind of sync up with the movies, or vice versa? Like, hey, Infinity War just came out, so we're gonna have like Thanos be spotlighted in the Avengers. Is that kind of what you're? Because I think if they had that approach, where I mean, if they had everything match up indefinitely, then it would be huge. I think, like reading comics. Yeah, well, I think part of the reason why the MCU works a little bit is it's not 100% on the nose. So we still, even us loyal fans for Marvel, we don't know exactly what's going to happen for the movie. So we're not really supremely bored with the storyline because we're just like, well, I already read the book like 10 years ago, so I know what's going to happen. Like Infinity War is a prime example of that. There's definitely a lot of changes they did to that story, but there's enough in it to keep it interesting, and there was enough nods to things from the comics that were like, oh yeah, that movie was awesome. So I think that's why it works so well for Marvel in particular. But I think if they had where at least visually and characteristically, if the universes in the movies mirrored what was, you know, going on in the comics, I think they would get huge readership. But the fact, like I always point back to, like when Winter Soldier came out, Captain America's story, he was fighting some random guy called Doctor Mind Bubble. Like that was a squandered opportunity. When Civil War came out, the Civil War II book series was out at comic shops, which had nothing to do with the original Civil War, and it had all these different random characters that people who watched the movie would have no clue about. So I think if they sat back and they looked at, okay, who's in these movies, and they spotlighted consistently who was in those movies, and had the books kind of tie in that way, I think they would have something huge on their hands. Oh, you're going to Gen Con. That's awesome, Keem. Fell asleep to your video day around 4. So you fell asleep to video game. So you said he inspired my action figure collection. Are you talking about Ephemera Rift inspired your figure collection? Yeah, I've been collecting figures forever. I have quite a few of them. I might do a video where I show all of them off, but I'm not sure. I'm at the point now where I'm really well. I want to get the main figures I'm currently getting for modern stuff. Is I'm trying to get all the new DC. I don't know what are they, DC collectibles Batman animated figures, and specifically the ones with the red backing on, because I love the Fox Kids Batman animated better than the Kids WB one. So, but I'm still getting the characters who weren't in the Kids W, or who were in the Kids WB one who weren't in the Fox one, like Etrigan and stuff like that. So, but I'll also be getting like the mains, like Tim Drake, Robin, and stuff. But I only have like 4 of them right now. Okay, yeah, cool. I too. Yeah, ASMR can definitely be really helpful, but it's still in the stages where a lot of people are weirded out by it. I try to keep this channel really on the fence. I did do like a water sounds video, I think it was 2 weeks ago. I'll probably be trying to do at least one of those, um, maybe one a week, I don't know. But also, too, I have like my jaw clicks, especially when I'm chewing and stuff. So that's why I haven't really done, easy stuff as like, oh, I'm just gonna do like a gum chewing video or like, a food eating video. But if I do that, then I don't know if the people who are into those sounds would be okay with that jaw clicking thing. So that's why I haven't. Yeah, I'll definitely be doing a figure video, Keen. Like you can count on that. How do you find out about ASMR? So yeah, like I said, I stumbled upon it whenever whenever I saw Ephemeral Riff's video, which was called Comic Book Recommendations, and I was just watching it for comic book recommendations, where he sits down and pretends like you're sitting next to him for like an hour, and he talks about all of his books he has and why he recommends them, and he lets you borrow his collection more or less. And I thought that video was really cool, and it was done in ASMR style, which was it was just kind of like a soft-spoken, relaxed thing. He wasn't whispering or anything. He was just, soft speaking about his books and sharing them. So I thought that was really cool. So that's why I subbed him. But too, I would like to do more stuff where I'm on camera too. But the fact too, when I'm doing the books, I spotlight the visuals of the books themselves, and whenever I am showing like the interiors on the selfie camera or whatever the crap you want to call it, like it is not. Well, this is probably even worse. It's probably even more laggy. But like, and then this too, the live stream mode especially, you can't see. It doesn't even fix it. Like they had an update that screwed up where it shows the mirror on here, and now it's doing this thing where it's in portrait instead of landscape. So hopefully, I'll be able to figure out why it's doing that. But that's why I don't do a ton of the selfie videos like this, is because it degrades the interiors of the books, and I want to spotlight the books so you guys go out and buy the books. So, but I definitely get connecting with you on a personal level, and that's why I love doing these live streams, because I can literally talk to you, get to know you, and you can get to know me without the underpinning of the relaxation thing. If you're not into that, it's just literally all of us collectors here hanging out and talking and having a good time. So but yeah, yeah, I'll definitely be continuing to do them as long as I can. And I'm trying to remember the name of the book. I'd have to go leave the room to get it. I think it is ASMR Revolution by Benjamin Nichols. He does, it's maybe 100-page book that talks about ASMR, like what it is and the origins of it and stuff. It's pretty cool. Oh, thank you, Nick. I'm glad you enjoy it. Yeah, I try to strike that happy medium. So, so especially too, I have a lot of male viewers as opposed to female viewers. So, the other stuff can get a little in the sensual territory, which is not good when your viewers are all males who are not into other males. So, but some of you might be, but I'm just saying the general consensus. But yeah, the main thing, I just can't wait for this number one to get out, because I just want to have so many more like drawing videos and all that good stuff where I'm showing off the character. Yeah, exactly. That's just in general. There's more males than females. But Marvel's ignoring that right now. But I mean, I try to be positive. I am. I try my best to. I know and I understand the work and effort that goes into. Yeah, I could do a drawing video, Nick. And I do have a couple up. I have playlists of all my videos, and I literally have a tab. I think it's drawing videos. I'm gonna make it an ongoing team. It's gonna be as many as possible. So, I mean, I've always had the character. I'm not gonna shelve them. So, I have some definite big benchmarks planned for him. The first initial arc, though, is he's a dude in a suit just doing good deeds, because I want the readers to want to go do good deeds yourselves. Like, I want you guys personally, when you read the book, to go help people you see in need. So I've always had that like humanitarian side in me, and my background. I was gonna go to art school, and I was gonna be an artist like my whole life, And then I had a friend who became an escort, and that switched my mindset. So I said, well, I guess we can be tomorrow's doctors or lawyers, or we can be tomorrow's prostitutes or drug dealers. So at that point, I switched my focus to going into youth ministry to help kids make better decisions. So, and that was whenever everything changed for me. So I put the cartooning on the back shelf, and I worked on, going to Bible college and all that. And in the books, they'll be written in a way that is very much in the vein of inspiring good in people. They will not be religious per se, but it's mainly like a golden rule enforced. The whole treat others how you want to be treated thing is his main inspiration. Doing good deeds and treating others how you want to be treated is the main drive of the character. So, and kind of both the characters, as you'll see, especially in that first issue. So, and as you read it, like, I'm sure when you get to the end, you'll want more, which is kind of the point. So, but it sets up the human side of the characters more than anything else. So there's not a ton of action on the first one, but if we will get to that point, like I said, he will become this big half bull, half man eventually. So, but the first arc, it's a dude in a suit helping people. So, what that entails will be different as it goes along. Oh. Am I missing anyone? Let's see. Yeah, so I know briefly on Gen Con. Keem, what is it? Is it mainly a gaming convention or a comic convention? Because I've seen actually one of my local stores is doing something called Gen Can't, where basically, oh, you can't make it to Gen Con, so come down to our comic shop and we're gonna have like a bunch of tabletop games and stuff. So I don't know if that's the main point of it or not, but you let me know. But also too, Keen, if you're there, there is a game that just came out. I believe it's called Thorn Watch. It's by the creators of Penny Arcade. I believe that it is starting to be on sale at that event. So I'm not sure if it is or not, but I recommend you try it out if it's there. It's kind of like a medievally setup, and it's just grounded in fantasy with a lot of lore attached to the guy who wrote it, Jerry. He really has a passion for writing really rich backstory, even though a lot of that doesn't shine with the Penny Arcade strips. Him personally, he is a very clever, educated man who has a passion for telling stories. So a lot of the lore behind that game is very involved and very interesting. So, and then Mike is doing the art for it. Jerry Holkins and Mike Krahulik, I believe. I could be saying that wrong, but I don't think I am. But if it's there, try it out. I think they will have it as a trial there to try out too. Yeah, flesh it out, Keem, for sure. Anything you're working on, man, do not get discouraged. Don't take a back seat on it. You know, and like I said, the company I found, it's crazy affordable. Like, even if I had no one at all buy this book, which I know is not going to happen, but even if that was the case, I could totally just like the minimum print you can do here is 25 books. You can print 25 copies of your book, and it's super affordable. And it's like the money I would spend on printing, 25 of one book that was my own is a fraction of what I spend on comics a month, or as much as, or it's not a ton, is what I'm saying. It's not some crazy exorbitant amount of money. Typically, a lot of the other publishers I've seen, like, you have to have several $100s to print a book. That's not the case with these guys. So And yeah, they're really responsive. I'm right now. They showed me some of the digital proofs for it, and I'm waiting. I saw a couple things that needed corrected. One of the words was misspelled, and one of the words in the balloon bubble was a tad bit too low, so I moved it up. So um, aside from that, the book looked great. So I'm just doing the Indiegogo for good measure, and if I can get this book to reach more people, I might as well, right? Rather than just run it out of my local shop or whatever. I see another one here. Nice. Yeah, it's always nice when you have other people helping you in the process. And that's the whole thing. Like, I mean, if I'm honest with myself, my oldest brother is he is the inspiration for what started me on this journey. I would always just look over his shoulder while he was reading the Superman comics back in the late '80s. The whole John Byrne and Dan Jurgens and John Bogdanov, all that stuff. I'm missing a few others too, but Jerry Ordway, all those guys, all those Superman stuff, and I'm trying to reacquire those books right now too, just because they're nostalgic for me. Just having those memories of being that little kid who's seeing those books and being inspired by them. I remember I got one of my favorites. I can actually pull it here. I remember I bought it whenever we had an Easter egg hunt. And no, it's not even it there. Let me see. Yeah, this one here. I loved George Perez on that. At the time, I didn't know that's who it was. I just knew it was really detailed. George Perez has a knack for showing detail, but I remember just being blown away by the line work he had put on all the. Let me show the specific page here. This page right here, where he shows like all the line work on the suit. And like I said, I'm not sure if that's even coming across really well. But there's like all these fine lines all up in there, and I remember just like staring at that page for a super long time, just being inspired by it. But it was just like $1.50 book I bought at the time that it was money I found from an Easter egg hunt. This wasn't my first comic, but it was one that I really enjoyed, so I'm glad I was able to reacquire it. Because that's the thing, there's a lot of great stories, even, like this might not be a book that you would particularly even like think about. So the joy of this channel is being able to uncover those nuggets, share them with you, so maybe you can hunt them down yourself, or if you can't, you can experience them on the channel here. So I try to keep it interesting. Just at the back. Yeah, what I find too is the more books you have in your box, after a while, the spine will actually start to press into each other, so it'll form like a groove. So if the way to keep that from happening is to actually have two covered books facing each other, like this. If I cover here, cover here. Oh, okay. Which game? What game did you get, Keem? Oh, you mean Thornwatch? Is that what you're talking about? I hope that's what you. So that you're talking about making your own book, and then you switch gears. Yeah, it was originally a Kickstarter for Thornwatch, and I know everyone who backed the project, I believe, has gotten their product mailed to them now. So he might have gotten it that way, maybe, I don't know. By the time I learned about the project, it was too late to back it. So, but I am big fans of Mike and Jerry, the whole Penny Arcade thing, because they really created an empire just on a video game webcomic. Which granted it was one of the first ones out there, so they definitely trailblazed. So, but they've just done so much, and they're inspiring to me. I don't know if you guys have seen or not. They do have Penny Arcade TV. Penny Arcade does have a channel here on YouTube as well, and I highly recommend at least watching the Penny Arcade the series, which is it's a documentary thing where maybe it's 40 episodes or so, which it just them creating the strips and just their daily life type of stuff, and then they also did another thing competition called Strip Search, which was having cartoonists compete for a spot to more or less share a spotlight on their website. So pretty cool. And I recommend all that. I'm heavily inspired by all that stuff, and the fact that it's happening right around me in this area is really cool to be able to see on the video. It's like, oh yeah, I've been in this place 100 times, and it just shows them walking the floor and stuff. So, oh, thanks, Mango. I didn't even know you were here, but I'm glad you were on, and you have a good night too. Yeah, their humor can be a little crass sometimes, so I always preface that. I don't want people to be shocked by something, so I'm a very straight laced guy myself, so my stuff I don't typically swear or anything like that. I'm a Boy Scout more or less, but I can appreciate other people who are doing other things creatively. I just don't do it myself, but for that instance, just to preface, hey, like if you check out the stuff, there's quite a bit of pervasive language and some crude humor, but it's entertaining nonetheless. It's interesting. All right, have a good night, Nick. Thank you so much, and I hope you're able to get one of those copies of the book. Take care. Yeah, it's not that late for me here. I mean, it's almost 8 here, so I don't know how late it is for you all or not. But here it's not bad. So, but also too, all these guys like they're doing streams all the time, so it's hard to compete against them. We have a lot of 11:09. Jeez, sorry. I guess there are some that run later, but the earliest I get home here sometimes. I mean, but we babysit other kids too. So I get home from my job. I'm actually the manager of a group home for kids with special needs. Nice, Michigan. So, but I'm the manager of a group home for kids with special needs. And then when I come home here, it's around 5 or so. But then we still have kids we're babysitting here until 6:30. So the house is at an acceptable volume level at 7, which is where we're at now, and then a train comes to ruin that acceptable volume level. But yeah, that's just kind of how it is. And I have the window open right now too because it's summer, so but it's not too bad. And I don't know if you've seen the video I did of the 12-page short story from the 100-page Batman book. I think you said you didn't see it or see that, yeah. But I definitely want to do some more videos like that too. I did get a screen capture app on this phone, so I'm able to pull direct comic pages on it and read them off. So I might be doing some more of that as well. But a lot more stuff to come, and like I said, I'm so excited for this adventure. I'm glad you guys are here with me to help me do it. And I can't do it without you. Oh, you just saw Mission Impossible. That's awesome. Yeah, I really like the last one. It seems like every single one of them, Tom Cruise ends up hanging from a plane or a helicopter. Though I realized that as I was watching them, just like he must really have something for doing that, because most of the movies he ends up attached to this rope or a string at some point, and he's just dangling in the air. So I'm sure that they're doing that just for fun, kind of a nod to the original scene in the first one where he's hanging from the ceiling. So like, oh yeah, but I know Tom Cruise, he likes to go like cave diving and stuff. So just his personality too. So it looks interesting though. I know it's Superman's in it, so he's a three-piece suit, looking dapper. And he said he wants to start playing James Bond, so I'd be okay with that. I mean, I see him as Superman though, but that's always the struggle when you're playing a role, especially something like that. Is you see that person and then in your head, oh hey, it's Superman or whatever. And it's the same with like Chris Evans and stuff too. But I don't know, especially with that instance with Superman, because he literally has no mask. It's just his head there. So, but yeah, that's what he was saying. He said he was up for it. I don't know if they formally announced it though, but I think he'd do good. He seems like a suave, confident man. So, but I guess he is actually British too. I think I've heard that, but I could be wrong. So he wouldn't have to fake that accent. All right. Well, do you have any more questions or anything for me, Keem, or you want me to hop off, or you want me to stay on for a little bit more? I think you're it right now, my friend. Which is fine. I enjoy your company. And yeah, like I said, I like the stream you did. I encourage you to do some more of them too. I know you get busy with whatever you're doing as well, and it's definitely hard trying to maintain a channel. Oh, and you asked before too. I think you said like, is this my main job? So yeah, no, it's not. I'm the manager of a group home for kids with special needs, and this is a side thing. And I'm not even at the point where I make any funds from it. So I'm really trying to push the 1,000 subscriber mark is when you officially are considered a monetizable channel. So you're surprised by it? I did read it. I liked it though too. Have you read it yet, Keem? I enjoyed it. The main thing though for me, it's kind of hard because since it's almost like it almost seems like a 2 month break because the book comes out and then you read it in like 30 minutes and then yeah, it comes out in 2 months. It's not even once a month, so you have like 2 months of headspace. I consume. This is just 2 weeks of comics that I still have to read, except for that Doomsday one. That's but it's insane, especially when you read this much. Oh, two, they were talking about the Immortal Men is being canceled after issue number 6, and they're saying their plan for a lot of the New Age of Heroes books is that they're trying to get them to 12, and then they're going to do like a big thing where they all meet up. But since some of them are getting canceled, I can imagine that it'll be whatever ones are left will go to 12 and then meet up for that big um, overreaching story. So I know I'm trying to find it. Challengers, the new Challengers is only a 6-part miniseries anyway. So, but I am following all of them. They're okay. Um, but like I said, I'm missing seeing a creative team that's really confident with themselves. Like we definitely had it with Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Every now and then, are you ready for the new Crisis? Yes, I sure am. I'm always trying to gear up for something big, and a lot of it it can get cash grabby at moments, but I'm excited about that one. I think it's an interesting premise, having it be like a crisis center for heroes with PTSD. Like, I think that's interesting. And the fact that Tom King, he worked in the CIA before. Do you know when it comes out? I believe it comes out in a couple months. I don't have the book right in front of me, but I know it was in the previous catalog, and that's usually what is in there. Comes out 2 months later, so I think it'll be out in 2 months. So maybe October. I know, and I will have a new previews flip through this Saturday because it just came out today. So, but every now and then there is a good arc, but a lot of it is hidden too. It just seemed like there was a lot more creatives firing on all cylinders. I don't know, like I said, I think during the early 2000s we saw a lot of it whenever Bendis and Alex Malev were doing Daredevil together. I thought that was terrific. Brubaker and Steve Epting on Captain America was amazing. John Cassaday with Joss Whedon on Astonishing X-Men, that was amazing. So just little things like that. Like I miss having a creative team to get excited about, which is consistently good. And they did it for years like that. And now we're lucky to even get a 6-part arc out of a creative team. So, but I mean, what they're trying to do is they're trying to sell more books. So they end up getting a big name, but they have him trade off. Because I know, like Jim Lee specifically, his work is incredible, but it takes him a long, long time to do a book. Understandably, he does a lot of detail. Oh, hey. Is it Sakia? Is that how you pronounce your name? I hope I don't butcher it. I'm doing good. Yeah, did you just get on? I'm assuming so. I announced earlier I'm gonna start. Okay, so I'm gonna start my Indiegogo for my original character, the Bull, tomorrow. So I'll have my short promo up tomorrow, as well as the page goes live. So it'll be 30 days that'll go. It's a $5 book with shipping on it. And okay, what's your question? Well, I don't know. Like that's a tough situation there, man. I'm sorry that you're going through that. But yeah, I'd say if anything, counseling is the best option for that. So yeah, I'd say find a counselor. If anything, if it's that serious, if it's impeding you guys, if it's causing issues like that, for sure, seek counseling, my friend. I am not a licensed professional, so. All right, well, if that's it, yeah, probably. I try to be respectful to everyone though, so you never really know what's going on with someone's life. So I always try to be supportive and help when I can. But if that's it, we're gonna end the stream now, and you all have a good night. Thanks. Bye.